Captain of what?
Captain of what?
Good morning, Captain. What better way to start each day than coming out to play? It's kinda hard to imagine how many kids Bob Keeshan and his Captain Kangaroo positively affected over the years. Heck, it ran on CBS for 29 years before it was moved to public TV. So kids from the 50s to the 90s fondly knew who this fellow was. So just how does someone come up with something so enduring it survived against Mickey Mouse? Why can we thank Captain Kangaroo for Play-Doh? And what health problems plague the man behind it all? I'm your host, Nostalgic Nick. And if you enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you can say good morning to another favorite from a simpler time. But without further ado, let's meet the Captain. So just who is this Captain we all grew up with? That would be Robert Bob Keeshan, an East Coaster born and raised who earned a bachelor's degree in education, which would serve him very well in becoming a teacher, though not in a traditional way. Keeshan first landed a job at NBC as a page, part of the network program that does a bit of everything. He also enlisted in the Marine Corps Reserve. And a lot of urban myths have Keeshan pulling some amazing stunts overseas, sometimes alongside actor Lee Marvin, no less. But in truth, he enlisted too late to serve in Europe or Japan. But he'd be plenty busy soon enough. Because as the war was ending, network television programs were gaining steam. And returning to work at NBC, his new desk was right next to Buffalo Bob Smith's office. And this is where he began helping Smith with his show Howdy Doody. And when Keeshan broke out the puppet for an afternoon show, Smith recruited him into the cast. One popular story says Keeshan appeared on camera quite by accident. And Smith said he should stay on camera, but he needed an outfit. And the only one available was a clown costume. And so, Howdy Doody with Clarabelle the Clown was born. Tinkering in the Workshop. Now a secure part of children's programming. Keeshan floated from the Howdy Doody show to Time for Fun on ABC, before finding himself on Tinker's Workshop. And Howdy Doody might have been his first foray into the genre, but Tinker's Workshop would be his most valuable stepping stone to Captain Kangaroo. Keeshan and director Jack Miller were told by a bigwig at Channel 7, quote, "Alright, you've wanted to try a weekday kids show, get it made by Monday." And the two got to work. Keeshan sprayed his hair gray when he couldn't find a proper wig, and he became the wise grandfather archetype. Meanwhile at CBS, the network was looking for a fresh approach to kids television, still a pretty new genre in the 50s. So Keeshan and Miller got to work, drawing a lot of inspiration from the lessons they learned on Tinker's Workshop. Just like he played a grandfatherly type in Tinker's Workshop, he now dreamed up Captain Kangaroo, specifically thinking about, quote, the warm relationship between grandparents and children. It was no wonder he was such a comforting sight on TV for so long. As for the character's name, in the early days he wore a coat with a big pocket that looked like a kangaroo pouch, which real kangaroos use for protecting their little ones. So the name works twice, and Keeshan really liked how those two words sounded together. Musical masterpiece. Everyone knows how that cheerful intro goes. They even had great timing, stopping the song when the captain dropped his keys, and then continuing when he got them back. This was going to be viewers' first impression of the show, so it had to be good, and it was. So how did they come up with such a perfectly upbeat, catchy tune? Well, actually, they didn't. In 1952, a British composer named Edward White put together a song called Puffin' Billy. The BBC used it for its kids' program Children's Favorites. It seems destined to entertain kids. Or not, because it was also used in an episode of a radio show called Murder Among the Statues. But the tune became stock audio, so it made passing it along pretty easy. And a string rendition became part of Good Morning Captain, which also helped Puffin' Billy live on for generations to come. This song also gave some early fame to future game show host Gene Wood. For a time, he was a show staffer at Captain Kangaroo, but he also sang for the theme song. Health hassles. It was the summer of 1981. Keeshan had just arrived at Toronto Airport when the beloved host suffered a brutal heart attack. He was rushed to the intensive care unit for treatment instead of his original destination. You see, Keeshan had been heading to a Parents Without Partners convention. They were giving him an award celebrating his exceptional service to children. At that point, Keeshan had no history of heart problems, but this health emergency required triple bypass surgery. Less than a week after he fell ill, Keeshan was feeling better, and during his recovery, he got over 5,000 letters and get well cards from kids all around the world. Captain Advocate. Captain Kangaroo managed to stand out during the rise of kids programming. And good thing too, because its 1955 premiere fell on the same day the Mickey Mouse Club began. And we've already uncovered some behind-the-scenes secrets from that program, so check it out soon. That's some steep competition, but Captain Kangaroo held his own and then some. Strangely, this kids show didn't have any kids on it. Apparently, Keeshan wanted to talk directly to the children watching on TV, so he cut out as many barriers as possible. And the captain tore other barriers down too. The casting of African-American stage manager James E. Wall as Mr. Baxter in 1968 made Captain Kangaroo one of the first racially integrated shows. He led by example, "Oh Captain, my Captain."
Captain, my captain. Oh, Captain, my captain.
He also closely tracked commercials and advertising. The toys needed a green light from Keeshan, and to do that, they needed to promote creativity and action. Anything he thought was bad for kids would make the cut. So the Etch-a-Sketch was an easy favorite. Keeshan also helped rebrand Play-Doh as a kid's toy instead of wallpaper cleaner. Once the cleaning product became outdated, it did enjoy some sales as a creative toy, but business flourished once the captain showed it off. And who out there begged for a Schwinn bike just because the captain? As Schwinn was one of the show's early sponsors. And even after laws about advertising to kids limited what they could do, the show created the character Mr. Schwinn Dealer to continue the ride. In his own words, many people quite literally grew up with Captain Kangaroo, but his words of wisdom and love are still accessible today, thanks to the books under his name. History and TV buffs can see a photographic timeline of the program with Good Morning Captain. And he is still teaching in the book Growing Up Happy. Captain Kangaroo tells yesterday's children how to nurture their own. And then the Itty Bitty Kitty series is his way of reaching today's youth across generations. Crunch and competition. With Keeshan at the helm from 1955 to 84, Captain Kangaroo won 6 Emmy Awards and 3 Peabodys. Keeshan got a National Education Award, was inducted into the National Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame, and a Distinguished Service Award from the American Medical Association. People from all walks of life agreed. This guy was good for America's youth. But money sure talks, and for how well he did with kids, adults were the bigger audience to target. Captain Kangaroo was trimmed and shuffled around the morning time slots. First, the length was cut in half to 30 minutes, then moved to much earlier, then to 1 hour on weekends, then finally just 30 minutes on Saturday. On top of that, it competed with the Today Show and other CBS programs covering some pretty turbulent times. Keeshan was not happy with all these cuts, so when his contract expired, he parted ways with the network. Bob became the captain in over 9,000 appearances.
Don't you worry, Mr. Green Jeans.
But he still was not done promoting children's causes for some time. Lobby hobby. Some friendships require little effort, it seems meant to be. Probably none more so than Captain Kangaroo and Mr. Fred Rogers. The children programming kings would talk about how disappointed and worried they felt about the direction of kids programming. Keeshan slammed shows like Transformers and He-Man, saying they did nothing, they didn't educate the kids. He worried about violence in video games and the use of tobacco. So he co-founded a business that put together daycare programs for companies around the country. So the kids were guaranteed care while their parents worked. In fact, Keeshan saw playtime for kids as work for kids, especially those under 6. It really was serious business and how they learned the most. You see, Mom, I told you all those hours building Lego towers would certainly pay off. This historic, long-running children's show was only beaten out by Sesame Street in 1999, and Bob Keeshan really was at the forefront of an entire genre, and stood out against all the competition because you could see the love this kind soul brought to his job. Passion, care, all the right things. The good captain passed away on January 23rd, 2004. But simply revisit any Captain Kangaroo video online and the comments will be flooded with people calling the show the best there ever was. So do you agree? Will there ever be another Captain Kangaroo or Mr. Green Jeans? What show did you watch growing up? Please share all your kangaroo memories in the comments below. We read everyone. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a memory. Click the bell for notifications about when we drop new videos. But from all of us here at Do You Remember, we want to thank you for watching.
Have a very pleasant day. We'll see you soon again.